First we'll start with the fundamentals of data warehouse. We'll start with the what is a data warehouse, because if you are from mainframe background, if you are from different other technologies also, before we go for actual ETL tool DataStage, we should know the fundamentals of data warehouse also. What is a data warehouse? What is the purpose of data warehouse? What is the architecture of data warehouse? And what is the operational data store? How data we are going to load into data warehouse systems from different heterogeneous systems. All these fundamentals we need to discuss. While we are discussing about these fundamentals, I'll use some class PPTs. Let me just open this. All these PPTs and everything will be shared to you at the time of material sharing in the day one of class.
Okay.
We will discuss, okay, what is operational system, what is the meaning of this operational system, what are the characteristics. I mean, operational system means, just I'm giving a brief intro. Every day in our day-to-day life, okay, we will also use operational system. For example, we went to one bank, we want to open an account, right? If we want to open an account in a bank, we fill an application form and we submitted the application form to bank. After we gave an application form with the details of ours, they entered the details into the bank, portal, and they, ask us for the minimum payment or something. And after that, okay, they issue a welcome kit to us. That means this entire process is happening. We give a details in a bank, and then bank employee enter in the website, or sometimes we can also directly open a account by logging into web portal itself. These web portals are nothing but the operational systems. Background to these web portals, there will be some systems are there, those are going to maintain the data. Those may be mainframe systems, those may be Oracle database systems, those may be some XML file generation systems, anything. These are the systems which are going to maintain day-to-day business data. That means, I am a customer, I went to bank, I want to open an account. For that I fill an application, I enter the details into the portal. After entering, and when I submit a button, click on the submit button, those details will save in one background database. For example, those are saving in DB2 database. That means that DB2 is acting as a operational system. And some other customer came and he want to close his account. He don't want to maintain his account, or he don't want to maintain this relationship with this bank. He want to close his account. That's also one type of data which is going to maintain in a operational system. That means operational systems are the systems which are going to maintain daily transactional data. If you see any business, healthcare, for example, if you take healthcare, every day members are going to hospitals, and members are, I'm a general person, I want to take one healthcare policy to my family. I filled an application form and submitted to my health insurance company. They issued one policy to me. It may be individual policy or it may be group policy to my company. After that, any of my family members or myself went to hospital, then I am going to issue my member card to the hospital, and hospital people agreed to that member card, and they, did a treatment to me or to my family members, right? The entire process we are going to maintain in some operational systems like claim processing systems, payment processing systems, claim adjudication systems. These are all general examples in our day-to-day life operational systems. Every business has operational systems. Even though operational systems are available for every business, why we are implementing a data warehouse? Because operational systems are day-to-day systems. Those are not maintain a complete integration of data. Those are not going to maintain a summarized data, and those are generally used for operational staff to run the business, not to take a decision making. That's the reason, generally if you take any business, take an example of, I'm giving some healthcare company, Cigna. Cigna is another biggest health insurance company in USA, and that offers wide variety of products to federal government of USA, as well as the organizations, as well as individuals also. Their data they are maintaining in different technologies. Cigna 60% of data they are maintaining in mainframe. 20% of data they are maintaining on Oracle and SAP, CBL, these kind of systems, and some part of data they are going to maintain in web portals. These are all heterogeneous operational systems, right? Because some is in mainframe, some is in DB2, some is in Oracle, some is in SAP system, some is in normal .dat flat files, .txt flat files. All these systems need to be combined and all these systems need to be stored in a single place and maintain a consolidated data. To do that one, we are going to implement a data warehouse. Okay, like that how we came into data warehouse. First we will discuss about, in actual class, okay, we will discuss about what is OLTP system, what is the difference between OLTP to data warehouse, what is the definition of data warehouse, who is the person gave a definition. Okay, while I am discussing about these fundamentals, I'll also use some of the project related architectures. See, for example, I'm discussing about the data warehouse architecture. Just see, this is a basic architecture diagram for a data warehouse. While I am discussing about these basic architecture for data warehouse, like these are called OLTP systems, because heterogeneous OLTP systems are there, and this is staging area or operational data, and this is warehouse, and these are all different reporting systems which are generating a different reports for business. To compare this with the actual project architecture, I'll also use some of the project related diagrams to explain our sessions, and those also I'm going to share you guys. Okay, I'll share everything whatever I'm showing you in actual class also. This is a project architecture diagram. See, this is one of the project architecture, one of the banking project architecture. I will compare base architecture with these project architectures. See here what kind of data we are having in the source systems. AOFE workflow. AOFE means account open front end. This is another banking data. All customers, whoever is opening an accounts, those data we are going to maintain a AOFE system. That simply we are going to call as a account open front end system. And next, second system which we are having there is OH cards. All health cards, credit cards data, they are going to maintain this system. And similarly, we have call center data here, and all ATM transactions, whoever is customer doing ATM transactions, those are maintained in this system. Like this, heterogeneous sources are there. From all these heterogeneous applications, we are going to get the data. We will do some transformations on the data. Finally, we are going to load the data into data. Here, if you observe these heterogeneous means, this is a Linux machine which is going to maintain data in a format of files. System Z means this is a mainframe data. COBOL files we are going to have. Those files we are going to take into DataStage. To read the data from COBOL files, we have some separate stages are also available in DataStage. Or in case sometimes we are also going to use some third-party tools to convert those COBOL files into normal text files. After converting, those also we are moving into normal text file environment. After that once we converted all these operations in DataStage technology, this is the place where we are going to load the data into warehouse, right? This is a kind of architectures also we need to know. When I am discussing about the fundamentals of these all tools, you should also know how these technologies we are going to use in a projects. How DataStage is going to be useful in a project. How OLTP will be there in a project. To give a clear idea about the fundamentals, I will also discuss about different architectures. These are simple project architectures also we will discuss while I am discussing about the fundamentals. First, once we are done with the fundamentals, we will go for a modeling. At the time of working environment, if you are a developer of DataStage, we are not going to involve in the part of modeling actually. There is a separate team will be there to monitor the modeling process, to create the models and everything for the business. Those are called data modelers. But as a developer, we should also have a little bit knowledge of the modeling part. No need to have a very fun of knowledge on this technology, because modeling also also will be used different technology like data modeling technology like Erwin or Oracle data modeler, those are also they will use. But we don't need in-depth modeling, at least a basic. What is a dimension table? What is a fact table? What is star schema? What is snowflake schema? What is normalization process? How we are going to implement the normalization process? All these kind of the basic modeling we need to understand. While I am discussing the modeling basics in normal tool, I'll discuss about the separately modeling also. Okay, what is a data model? How a modeling is going to be useful? What are the steps involved in the data modeling? What are the levels of data modeling? While I'm discussing these also, I'll also use some of the project documents because everything we need to know with the project. If I know only basic part, there is no use. For that, okay, we'll use some of the project related diagrams. See, this is the one of the project related. This is one of the healthcare project related modeling diagram. This is the dimension table, purchase a dimension table. I'll also explain how these dimension tables are going to create. In this dimension table, what type of data we are going to maintain. What are the tables actually we are going to maintain in warehouse? What is the relationship between dimension table to the fact table? In a project, how many tables will be there? How many schemas we are going to maintain? Is there any limitation of maintaining the tables in a warehouse? All these kind of the fundamental concepts we need to know as part of the modelings. Because why we should know these all means, before actual development phase starts in any project, modeling team create these kind of modeling documents and they will give physical modeling documents to us. Based on the physical modeling documents and based on the HLD and LLD documents, we need to understand the business. As a developer, for example, when I am working as a developer, I should understand that, what are the tables are there in warehouse, which is the primary table, because while loading the data into those tables as a developer, if there is a primary and foreign key tables, I should always load the data first into the primary key table. That means parent. Once I load the data into primary table, then only I can go to the child table. Otherwise, if I did development of job in DataStage, first I load the data into child table, then I am trying to load the data into primary table, then there is a reference integrity error will come. Because without parent, there is no child. That kind of errors to avoid, and while processing the data also, we should know which is the primary table, which is child table, how a relationship is established between these two. Let me simply show you those some examples also. One second, please. They're all some of the modeling documents actually. See here, I have a purchaser is a one dimension table, drug profile is one dimension table. This is very good actually because my modeler in this project, he mentioned that every dimension table is starting with dim. But in some projects we are not able to see that, okay, dimension table names are starting with dim or something. General names will be the general naming standards of that project. We are not able to understand by seeing the table name itself also sometimes. And then I have a fact table here. See, this is the fact RX type. Here in this fact table there are so many foreign keys, right? FK. Just take an example of pharmacy dimension table. Pharmacy dimension table is a one dimension table which is maintained all the pharmacy clients. Pharmacy client means if any member took any medicines from any pharmacies, those pharmacies also can submit some claim to insurance company on behalf of this particular member, or directly maybe member also can submit the claim in web portal or to the insurance company also. If any claim is received as a pharmacy claim, that data will be generally maintained in that corresponding fact table also. But whoever is taken that membership, those details also we are going to have. See, pharmacy key is a primary key here. This pharmacy key is a primary key here, and same pharmacy key is acting as a foreign key. That means there is a relationship between this pharmacy dimension table to the fact table through pharmacy key column. This is acting as a primary key here. This is acting as a foreign. In this, whatever the claim we are getting, the details will be there. Okay, I mean, pharmacy qualifier ID, pharmacy ID, name of the pharmacy, address and all details. From the same pharmacy, maybe n number of members can take medicines, right? Then pharmacy ID will be same, will be going to repeat multiple times while storing the daily transactional data. That's what here this is acting as a primary key and this is going to act as a foreign key. That means just an other common example I'm giving. Today I opened an account in a bank, right? That means my account number they given as a unique number and that's acting as a primary key. Account number column is acting as a primary key. There is no duplicates. They're telling that. That's we are maintaining in a normal customer dimension. And every day I am doing some transactions. That means I am withdrawing some amount. I'm also, I mean to say that transferring some amount, right? I'm also, paying some utility bills like this. All these transactions, whatever is happening every day, for example, okay, all these transactions, whatever is happening every day, these transactions data we are maintaining in fact table. That means one time means I took an account that is maintained in dimension table. And what are the daily transactions are occurring here? Those daily transactions data we are maintaining in a fact table. To establish a relationship based on the account number what we have in primary table to foreign key table, there will be relationship should be maintained like primary and foreign keys. Those all we need to know as a developer how a primary key is defined in a particular project, in which tables, what tables are acting as a primary key table, what table are acting as a foreign key table. All the fundamentals we should know first. Once fundamentals are completed, we'll go for actual ETL tool. We'll go for what are the different ETL tools are available in the market and what is the comparisons of this DataStage ETL tool to other ETL tool. Especially this DataStage ETL tool right now it's a product of IBM. This is very good for the people who are working on the mainframe side because most of projects which are already running in older clients, okay, they are mostly maintaining their data in mainframe. Most of those mainframe projects now they are moving into data warehouse by using this DataStage tool because the mainframe also IBM product and DataStage also IBM product. They are purchasing DataStage product and they are using in their projects. We need to compare this DataStage ETL tool with the other ETL tools in the first fundamentals of these ETLs. After that, we'll go for a DataStage 9.1 architecture. This is a architecture for this DataStage. Okay. This is IBM InfoSphere Information Server architecture. This is we are not going to call as a DataStage architecture something. This is we are going to call as a IBM Information Server architecture. This architecture, whatever we are having, it's going to have multiple tiers like client tier, services tier, repository tier, engine tier. Okay, we will discuss all these. What is this client? What is this services tier? And what is this repository tier? What is this engine tier? All these also we need to know. We will discuss as part of our architecture class. Once we are done with the architecture, my administrator also will install DataStage 9.1 or 8.7 software on your machine based on your machine configuration. To get these softwares installed on your machine, at least your machine should have a 4 GB or 6 GB or 8 GB RAM. That depends on your configuration. We will also install that software on your machines. Okay. And once we are, done with the fundamentals and architecture, we'll go for actual ETL tool. When you go for actual ETL tool, there are some development components are available. Those are called DataStage Designer. We will start with the first development activities. how to develop a DataStage job, how to extract the data from source flat file, .txt files, .csv files, .dat files, those kind of files, how to process, and how to process database data. For example, we have my source is Oracle database, how to process Oracle database data into warehouse environment, how to load the data into those database systems, like for example by using Oracle or Teradata or ODBC or DB2, how to extract. Any database is same, the process is same. And once we extract the data into DataStage environment, how we are going to do some transformation operations by using copying the data, filtering the data, sorting, remove duplicates, aggregator, modifying, compressing, expanding, encode, decode, switch, pivot, all these kind of different transactional data, whatever we are having, we are going to also process into warehouse by using all the stages. We will discuss as part of our course all these stages. Today I don't have the software installed in my machine. I'm using different machine for this demo session. In actual classes, when we are going for, once fundamentals are completed, we will go for actual tool and we will log into the tool, and we will also discuss everything in a tool node. Theoretical part at the time completely we will discuss practically. Everything I will execute in the class itself. I will show you what job we need to end last. All these kind of the sequencer activities, if you want to perform, we will use those sequencer activities data. That also we will discuss. How to use the sequencer activities, and how to specify those sequences, and how to proceed for the sequence activities process. All these, for example, one sequence is started, after loading of some data, if it is cancelled in the middle, how to reprocess the data. All those job sequencer activities also we will discuss in our actual session. After completion of normal development process in DataStage, there is a separate component we also have that's called quality stage. Actually, this is also included in DataStage itself. Now, most requirements, if you observe in DICE, Corp to Corp, or Monster USA, or any of these Monster India, these kind of portals, most of requirements you can see in quality stage and DataStage, not only DataStage. Because some people only learn the DataStage, then they try to apply for the position of DataStage developer, but there is no requirement you are going to find. We have separate requirement is also available for quality stage. We should also know what is this quality stage, how we are going to maintain the data quality in any project, what kind of data quality we are going to have there. All these we also should discuss. First of all, what is this data quality? We will discuss why data quality is required, what are the data quality challenges we are having, types of data quality tools provided by IBM, difference between information analyzer to the quality stage, and quality stage architecture, and quality stage stages. We need to discuss about what is investigation stage, what is standardization stage, and what is a match process, survival process. And this is a newly added stage from 8.7, but we are not able to discuss this stage outside because this is not a free plugin actually. This we need to buy from IBM. Okay. Whenever we have to say that whenever we bought from IBM, then only we are going to get this AVI stage separately. Otherwise, we will not get this stage separately. Actually, the softwares, whatever we are going to use in our classes, is a kind of free softwares. Because those will not get separately this plugin. This plugin only we can discuss theoretically, not practically, because this is not possible outside to discuss. And these data rules we will also discuss, because these are all data quality. Quality means, for example, you fill an application as a customer in a bank. I fill an application. Similarly, all thousands of customers are filling an application. But whatever the address they mentioned in their applications, is this address his correct address? Does this customer enter a valid address? His name is in valid format? His phone number is a valid phone number or not? How can you validate? That's what. By using normal DataStage tool or normal ETL tools, we are not able to validate that much. I want to validate before loading the data into warehouse whether this phone number is a valid phone number. For example, some customer give a phone number is 999999999 default number. Then how can we load this data into warehouse? We don't want to load such a kind of invalid phone numbers data into warehouse. Okay, that's the one thing. Second thing is, for example, some customer give a email ID is xxx.xxx@the rate of xxx.com. Yes, sometimes those kind of data also we are seeing in a customer. There may be fraud customers, right? In such situations, before loading the data into warehouse, we want to eliminate those kind of records. For that, we want to check quality of the data. To check the quality of the data, we will use this quality stage. Earlier, we don't have this quality stage separately in our projects, but nowadays, most of companies or most of clients are using this quality stage part of data stage also for checking of the data quality in their data. Because data is coming from heterogeneous applications. That data to process and to use, we are going to use this quality stage software. We'll also discuss about what is this quality stage and everything. Then we'll go for a IBM Information Server Administrator. What is this IBM Information Server Administrator means? This Information Server Administrator is also one of the client component. But actually this is administrator client, not a developer client. We also need to discuss about the separately administrator. Administrator means there are two administrator components are available in DataStage. One is desktop administrator and web-based administrator. This client, what I am showing you right now is, details is web-based administrator. How to log in, how to create a new users, how to set up the user console, managing the logs, managing the licensing information, what sessions are running actively right now, and managing the schedule and backup and restoring the information server. All these activities, if you want to perform, we use this information server administrator client. This all will be a part of our course. It will take around 35 hours to discuss all these fundamentals. I mean to say that tool. Once we are done with the tool, without knowing the project, if you know tool, there is no use. Like only tool, if you know, you are not able to answer the questions what we are expecting in interviews. For that, around 10 to 15 hours, we are going to discuss completely one real-time project. It's not theoretically. Some jobs I will execute. I will also show you that one. How to start this project. What I am going to start in the project. In the project, I am going to start with the architecture first. That is, what are the business requirement documents we have? That's a BRDs, and then project architectures also. Let me show you some example docs. Just I'm just showing you. See, this is the one of the project related functional spec actually. First, I'll show you how actually a functional specs will come in project discussion also. We will discuss what kind of functional specs we will receive, what kind of business requirement we are going to have. For those business requirement, what kind of HLD, high level design document we'll get, low level design document we'll get. We'll also discuss the architecture of these projects. This is a functional spec actually. This is going to give you high level functional flow. This completely give you a business overview. I'll also explain what kind of business we are going to have and how to get these functional rules. Based on these functional rules, how to develop the jobs in a project. See, these are all the functional specs also I'll explain. I'll discuss and I'll give you these documents also for your reference purpose in future. These functional docs we will discuss. After that, we'll go for a technical specs also. This is technical spec, which is going to give a flow of how source data is coming, how we are going to have a flow. If you observe in this one, this is a source data, and this is interface intermediate data, and this is warehouse target loading data. How we are going to get the source data, what kind of derivation logics we are having, and how we are going to get intermediate environment, then how we are loading the data finally into warehouse tables. These are the transformational logics or derivation logics we need to implement in our projects. Once we start the transformations or implementing the business logics for our business, the data what we are having in the transformations or implementing of these business logics here, qprod, prod id, begint, prod interface q, prod source number, varchar 20. Okay, all these are the different kind of the specifications given to tech spec. Based on these specifications, we are going to load the data into warehouse actually. We will load the data into warehouse based on all the specifications. I'll explain how we are going to get these specifications. Based on this, how to develop a DataStage jobs, what kind of source and target and warehouse we are going to have, how to implement the jobs with a good performance tuning. So all we will discuss as part of the project discussion. First we will start with the architecture and BRD, then dimension tables and fact table with modeling, flow of subject areas, how to design HLD and LLDs, project flows and job design documents. Sometimes in interviews also they are going to ask you what is the complex situation you faced in your project, how you handle those they are going to ask you. That's what we are also going to discuss as part of our project complex job discussion and unit testing and system integration and regression and end-to-end testing, how to involve in those all testing environments also. And we are also discussing about the deployment activities from one environment to other environment, how to implement the deployment process and the creating of jobs, tech specs and everything. Generally, after development, the jobs will be moved to production environments. Nowadays, you can see that some of the requirements are in production support as well. We should also know how to do production support. What kind of Unix script we will write for automating the code, some validation scripts, some SFTP scripts to process the file from mainframe to DataStage environment and DataStage to mainframe environment or other environments also. And archival script to archive the files every day, backup script to backup the files every day, or file movement script which are going to generally move the files. There are different scripts we will also write in any project. Those scripts also we will discuss as part of our sessions. And we will also discuss about the what kind of scripts generally we will also process and trying to process the data. Now all those also we will discuss as part of our session discussion. That's also we will flow, and we will also discuss about the discussion of scheduling tool with control M and autosys and those kind of tools, fixing a defects, what kind of defects we are going to have, and problem tickets and incidents, how to handle the incident what we are getting at the time of development, in case of any tickets we are getting, how to handle. All those we are going to discuss around 15 or maybe more hours also as part of our project discussion. And coming to additional things, what I am going to give you is I am going to give plenty of materials which is going to cover data warehousing fundamentals, DataStage tool, and project related documents, which generally can cover banking or healthcare, or because mostly I worked on banking and healthcare industries. That's what I am going to give documents about those industries documents and examples also mostly on those. If anyone require any other industries related documents also, please let me know. I'll provide because I have other project documents as well. And certification dumps, because somebody want to write, for example, DataStage certification or quality stage certification or information analyzer certification. We also have a DataStage and quality stage certification. 9.1 DataStage and quality stage certification dumps are available. Those will be useful to clear your certification. Okay, we will also discuss how to write the certification there, and we'll also discuss the performance tuning of the DataStage jobs. And installation setup generally will take care by my administrators, because I'm not able to sit in hours and hours of time to install, because at least it will take 2 to 3 hours of time to install. If anyone wants the steps, okay, administrator will help you. And every day, whenever we are discussing the class, I will record every day's class. After completion of that day's class, I'll also share that recording of the class also for future reference. And if you have any questions, for example, in a particular day, you can ask on the day itself, or next day itself also. Next day also you can ask directly. Or if you have any questions after completion of course, also you can drop a mail, or you can also call us at any time, and you can also get clarified the questions answered. That's all we will have from our side in those 45 to 50 hours of duration. This is just a kind of introductory demo. If you have any questions, you can ask.
You said in the real-time project you are going to explain about Unix shell scripting and control M scheduler. Would there be any introduction or any visibility on details about Unix shell scripting? Because I kept hearing that Unix shell scripting is something that is very important, that to be known by the DataStage developer.
Yes.
So in addition to explaining about a real-time project, can we also get some details about Unix shell scripting as well?
Scripts, yes. At the time of explaining the project, I will explain some 10, minimum 5 to 6 scripts actually. But basic commands you need to learn yourself. See, just an example. The other few scripts I am just showing you. Let me show you one script. This is one of the script I am just opening. See, this is one of the script actually, begin cycle.ksh. This begin cycle.ksh is one of the script which is going to created in my project for running of this every day before actual batch start. What is the purpose of this script is, before actual batch start, it will look for whether all parameters are ready to available for that particular cycle run. For example, we are running everyday cycle. We have a Christmas holiday, or we have a Thanksgiving holiday, or we have a Martin Luther King Day. There are multiple there are multiple holidays, right? We will not run our batch, for example, all those holidays, except that holidays, our company holidays, except those generic holidays, we won't run our batch. That means we are going to have some database table. In the table, we define that what days we want to run for this particular 2015 year. Based on that, whenever it is running a particular day cycle, it's going to have cycle number, cycle date, cycle time, and other parameters also. Before my production batch start, this script will run. This script will get all the parameters and everything from the database table and update into our files. Then when the actual production batch started in DataStage tool, that production batch will use that particular cycle number and that particular cycle date and time stamp. For example, today we are running a production batch, but that is not the today's data, that's yesterday's data. Because there was some issue in production earlier, we did not run yesterday's batch and we are running today. In such situations, we should not run the begin cycle. If I run the begin cycle, what it is going to do is, it will going to take today's cycle information. We should do manual updations. That means, this is the script actually you're going to run every day to pick that day's cycle information and to run that. In case if we miss any day schedule, we need to hold this begin cycle job and we need to manually update that. Those kind of information we are going to have in this script. How to get those information, what kind of parameters we are going to get. So it's going to connect to the database environment and get the corresponding information. It will go to retrieve the record from these. All these scripts we will explain. How to write these scripts and what kind of. There are so many situations for the script. For example, to get the parameters, to run a DataStage job. For example, one job is failed. Whenever one job is failed, we are expecting a notification mail to our team. When we open our Outlook or when we open our same time in our emails, those emails should get some mail saying that your job is failed. Your critical job is successfully finished. Those kind of mail notification, for example, we want to get. Then we have a script called sendmail.ksh. This is the script we scheduled in our project. If any critical job is successfully finished, or if any job is failed, it throws a mail and it throws a mobile. It throws a message to the mobile also. That will be useful to the production support teams to handle the issue instead of always sitting in front of the system. These kind of, there are so many situations, so many scripts we will write. I will explain these kind of scripts, how to write and how to handle, because these are the scripts which are going to written for different purpose. How to get the logs in attachment, what kind of logs we'll have generally in attachments, and for example, an alert is generated, how alert is going to be sent to the mail. All these we will also discuss. And today's, for example, one batch is completed, we want to archive our data. For archival process, we have archive scripts also there. See archive file.ksh. This is archive script. Every day, archive file.ksh is the one script which is going to archive the files which are received from source environment to our environment once the jobs are processing complete. Okay. This all we will discuss as part of our sessions. Scripts also, don't worry about the script, because I also wrote many scripts in my project. I can give you plenty of knowledge on the scripting part. But basic commands you should learn, because I am not going to discuss basic commands in a class. You should learn your own.
Okay, sure. That would be helpful. And anyways, Control M, how to schedule the jobs in Control M.
Those we are not able to show you outside. Generally, Control M, those things. Okay. Only theoretical part we can discuss, because those are not free tools. Control M or AutoSys or TWS. Those are not free tools. Those are not available outside. Only theoretical part we can discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.